Hey, everybody. I'm excited to talk to another of my special guests at this year's Kurt Bestor Christmas. It's somebody, if you've come to my concert over the years, um, chances are you may have seen her on the Kurt Bestor Christmas stage, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Well, let's ask her. Please welcome everybody, Alex Sharpe. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Kurt. Hello, everybody.
What's the crack?
I tell you something. We're in the middle of a blistery hurricane storm outside. So if I suddenly disappear, my internet goes.
No,
But
that's
that's how the crack. That's how the
yeah.
crack is here at the moment.
That's the only Irish phrase that I know, and I love to use it. It's just,
We'll have to teach you a few more.
well, I have to be careful here in Utah. I don't know if we could say some of the Irish phrases.
Hey, listen. If I can get away with the things I say on stage in Utah, you definitely can.
So look, we've known each other. I was just trying to do the math. I'm trying to remember how we met the first time. Were you in Utah? And is that how we met? Just help remind me if you remember.
I do. Well, actually, you kind of reached out to me when I had just reached, kind of come to the end of my time with Celtic. I think I just left them
Yeah,
in 2010, and we were looking to try and do something together. And
that's right.
the,
Yes, it's coming back to me.
yeah,
We had a little
and then
meeting. We talked about doing something together. We were talking about doing an album, blah blah blah. And then you did join me on my Christmas concert, and that really was the first time I got to experience the magic of you. It was so fun. You were with Jenny Oaks Baker was also on that show. So then the next thing we did, if I remember, is I did a whole album with Jenny that had kind of Celtic old world vibes to it. And then you sang on a couple tunes, if I remember.
I did. I sang on your arrangement of Wexford Carol and Iha Cune, which is Irish for Silent Night.
Yeah, which I have a funny story about that, if you remember. So I was all excited to arrange this this Celtic version of Silent Night. So I saw, hey Alex, here's your Celtic, and you were kind of going, not everybody in Ireland speaks Gaelic. And
It's
I mean, now I know. I mean, I know that some people get raised a bit with that, but it's kind of going away, isn't it? Or maybe it's coming
Well,
back. I don't know.
funnily enough, it is having a resurge, and there's an awful lot. So when my mom grew up, a lot of her schooling was in Irish. There were a lot more Irish speaking schools. Not so much when I was growing up. It was mostly kind of on the west. There are a lot of all Irish speaking areas, but there's a lot more schools now starting right at primary, which is your elementary, where
Yeah.
the children are learning all their subjects through Gaelic, just like my mum did. So it's actually having a bit of a
Oh, that's
revival.
Why do you
Yeah, which
think
is
so?
great.
Yeah, and speaking of revivals, it seems like, and it kind of started with Celtic women, maybe Lord of the Dance, Flatley. Um, Celtic kind of came into America's, we were started looking at it, hearing it, and it's super popular here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I mean, it's a great country. We all love Ireland, but it's not like some big massive presence in the world, but it has such a huge cultural sound and feel. Why do you think people love
Yeah.
it so much?
I think I think a lot of I think Irish music has kind of influenced some other musical sounds in the world because we've had such mass immigration,
Right.
and I also think so. I think people kind of hear it in other music and have a connection to that music,
Yeah.
then but it kind of brings them back. So it kind of has that connection for them. But then again, like I say, we had such a mass emigration that I think people who's never even been to Ireland, they still genetically feel a
Sure.
connection with the country because it is in their blood, and so I think they just feel, a strong connection to it. And I think as well, we come from a very kind of troubled past, and I think as many, many other cultures and, countries, and you express so much of your history or your
Mhm.
your turmoil through music. So I think it resonates with people who've kind of historically kind of turmoil in their past. And so I think there's a lot of connections with it, and the actual just the kind of joyfulness and the energy from, the up tempo kind of
Yeah.
traditional sounds, the jigs and the reels. They're just happy music. So people
Sure.
really kind of resonate with that. And like I
Yeah.
say, kind of those ballads or those historical kind of, through great trials, I think it brings out a lot
Yeah.
of really
So
great music.
I know, and I think you're exactly right. I think also Celtic music sounds like it's coming from the heart. It's not like classical music or other kinds of musics that are a little more on the surface. It goes deep. You feel the pain of the people, but you also feel the joy of the people. With when you get those fiddles and the bow runs and all that
Yeah.
going. So so people know you mostly over the years through the visible medium, like, well, Celtic women. And there've been quite a few, not quite a few. There's been more than a handful of Celtic women. We know. Well, now I'm losing the names in my head, but you came along in about the middle and were there for a while. You sang with them.
I was kind of second generation. I came in after the original group, and I was only supposed to be just temporary, just a little. I was actually covering for Lisa Kelly's maternity leave, who
Oh,
was
right,
one of the originals, and I
right,
came in just for that 3 month tour, a New Journey tour, 2008, and stepped away from it, just thinking it was just that, just
right,
those
right.
that tour. And then they reached out to me and said, would you be interested in, kind of sharing the touring with Lisa, because she just had her third baby, and I was, had a 6-year-old at home, and I was a single parent. So it was like, okay, I could actually kind of manage this,
Yeah, yeah.
and then just things changed with the girls. And then one of the other girls, Orla Fallon, who, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
she decided she was going to, go on a solo career. So um, I got a call kind of January, no, around February time, when we were due to go out. I think kind of March, April, and I was told, can you stay full time? Orla's leaving, and can you let us know in 24 hours?
Well, and as a single mother and as a person who had other career things that you were all about, it must have been, I mean, I don't know, I would think it wouldn't be a hard decision, but it's a decision,
It's a
leaving
big
home.
decision.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad you did because it kind of brought me into, but what I've discovered about you, um, not yet on stage, although I think we're at Christmas, we're going to do something. You have an experience in show theater, uh,
Yeah.
jazz in a way from the theater world. I don't, I haven't really heard you do that sort of thing, but you have this new album you're doing that features quite a bit of that. Tell us about the
Yeah.
new album. Does it have a name? It's Christmas.
Yeah. It's a
Tell,
very, it's,
yeah,
yeah,
tell us about
it's fun. Okay. So, well, as you were saying, my background is mostly musical theatre. I've kind of turned professional at 19, and I joined Celtic Woman at 37.
it. Oh, okay.
So I had a very, very long career in musical theatre in Ireland and England, and kind of did a lot of, had the wonderful opportunity in such a kind of a small country here, even though, that doesn't provide a lot of continual work. We all end up having to leave Ireland, but it was such a kind of a small setting that I got the opportunity to just sing so many different styles, and if you wanted a gig, you adapted,
Yeah.
so you learned how to kind of adapt to the style. And so much of musical theater is different styles, different writers, wrote in
Yeah.
different styles. So it was wonderful to come to this Christmas album. The arranger is a guy called Jane Nygaard, who I met through Jenny Oaks Baker's Joy's the World tour, and he's her percussionist. But we got talking on a flight during that tour one day, and some of our famous
Right,
Christmas
right.
music. We both loved the big band style and the big orchestral kind of style from like Frank Sinatra and Elvis Fitzgerald, and that era, that kind of golden era of that sound. And we got talking about Nature Boy, and we both said, I've always felt that was a Christmas song, and nobody sees that. We both kind of, had this connection, on so much of our kind of our musical influences and what we loved. He's definitely way more jazz influenced and informed than I am. And so we have a lovely kind of palette of um, jazz, big band, swing, orchestral, music on, on the album. So it was a lot of fun. I kind of got to kind of step through,
Yeah.
a
Well, and
little bit of a journey through that.
what's the name of the album before we
The
forget?
album is called The Secret of Christmas, which comes from a beautiful song that Bing Crosby sang. It's written by Jimmy Van Heusen. Ugh, I can't remember the other composer. And I did that, performed that for a Christmas concert many years ago, and I just really loved what I loved the melody anyway, but I really felt that the message was just so powerful, and it's a short song, but it just basically, that the line in it that says, the secret of Christmas is not the things you do at Christmas time, but the Christmas things you do all year through. And I
Wow.
just loved that message of that,
Wow, what a great message for
yeah,
all of us.
Christmas is about goodwill. It's
Yeah.
goodwill, it's
Well, that's
kindness.
and
And so,
I have to say that is why I do my Christmas concert. This is my 38th year of doing that, and it's I have people from 1 to 92 come, and they love. I don't know. You've been to the concert, and we cover lots of bases. So I'm excited to do one of the tunes from your album. We're trying to decide now, right?
yeah.
Which one, but a couple that we talked about. Well, I won't even say what they are, but we're gonna do one song at least that has got that big band 1940s 50s American sort of thing, kind of like I'll Be Home for Christmas or Walk in the Winter Wonderland or Silver Bell, those type of songs. Can't wait to hear your voice on that. We've been also talking about another song that you have sung over the years, that was an arrangement that I did, that to me, Cap, your voice is the perfect voice for this song. It's called In the Bleak Midwinter. It comes from the UK. It's that moment when it snows for the first time, and it's quiet, and the it's in the bleak midwinter. Doesn't sound very joyous, but it takes you to a very poignant place. So I hope we're still talking about what you're going to do, but I think that one might be on the list. So look, we could talk forever. I love talking to you, by the way. I love working with you, and I can't wait. Christmas is just around the corner. What other plans do you have beyond Christmas after you get done with my show? Do you got some things planned at the beginning of the year? Things people can look forward to?
I do. I've had the great opportunity to be working a lot in Utah and then kind of surrounding states, Idaho, and I am working with Craig Jessup and the American Festival Chorus in February at in Logan at the Danes. I think it's the Danes Theatre
The
there at the
Danes, right?
university.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Danes Concert Hall.
and we're doing, along with Mairead, we are doing a show called A Celtic Celebration, and um, I'm just really looking forward to it. In fact, we worked together very closely. I did a concert with Craig the same kind of time, around the time when we were doing your first Christmas concert there in Salt Lake. So this is kind of like a full circle thing, coming back to do your Christmas
Well, look,
concert. And Craig,
Utah, in Utah,
yeah,
we love our Christmas. I mean,
you do.
well, we celebrate Christmas. I mean, some people have their stuff up already. They're listening to Christmas music already. I don't really do that, but I don't cascade people to do. So we're going to have a very wonderful time. You mentioned Mairead. She is the violinist. Oh, sorry, she corrected me. She's more of a fiddler, she said. I'm not, although she is classically trained. And
Yeah,
you guys have known each other now for quite a few years and have been touring with each other. And then, so you're going to come back in February with the American Festival Choir and Orchestra. But first things first, Christmas. All right.
yeah.
Well, look, more to talk about. Maybe we'll do this again, but I'm going to see you soon enough. Take care of yourself.
You too. Looking
Enjoy.
forward to it.
Yes, it's going to be great. All right. Take care, Alex.
All right. See you, Kurt. Bye.
Bye bye.